She-Hulk episode 5, done and dusted, out on Disney Plus for you guys to go and check out. Now I'm going to tell you guys my thoughts on this episode. Let me know in the comments below, what did you guys think of episode 5? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Smash it down below, smash that like button, click subscribe, and let's get into this review of episode 5 of She-Hulk.
Really?
Okay, so episode 5 of She-Hulk is done and dusted. Completely done. It's over. It's finally over. Now, if you guys have been watching me, you know, so far, I haven't liked She-Hulk. I have not. Episode 5, look, I'm going to address it straight away. People will be like, if you don't like it, why do you keep watching it? I'll tell you why. Because Daredevil's coming. He's on his way. We got a tease in this episode of him coming. We know he's coming from the trailers. So I kind of want to see what he's going to be like. I kind of want to see what this MCU Daredevil is going to be. So I'm kind of watching, hoping that something's going to happen with him. So that's why I'm continuing. And because it's in the MCU, so it's hard, like, it's a connected universe. I kind of want to know what's going on in this universe. I feel like if you miss one, then it's kind of like, well, I'm kind of lost now. And 2, I still have hope that it could get better. Episode 5. Look. It's weird because I would say this is probably the best episode of She-Hulk. But it's because, I don't know, nothing really happened in this episode. I don't have any real, like, major criticisms of this episode. I think the biggest issue with She-Hulk, for me, is I just feel like the comedic timing when it comes to the jokes just isn't there. Like, there's this one instance where she's, like, typing away. She's like, I ain't, like, what did she say? She said something like, I ain't, worried or anything about the whole Titania stuff with She-Hulk. And, like, it just, I kind of felt forced because it just didn't feel natural. It felt like they're like, okay, we need to put this comedic bit right here. You need to do this. And it didn't feel organic. It felt like they were just putting it in there. And there's multiple times throughout this episode where it just didn't feel natural. But the one time it did feel natural and did feel very organic was when they were going to see the guy who does the superhero stuff, who makes the suits, but it's in that bubble tea place. And they go behind, and this guy's got, like, the bootleg Avengers gear and everything like that. And the guy grabs the shield, the lawyer guy grabs the shield and Thor's hammer. And as it pans to the background, when she's, like, fine making the deal with him, he's there playing along with them, like, acting like Captain America with the Thor hammer and everything. That, to me, felt organic. And it worked. I actually was laughing my ass off at that point. I was like, bro, because one, that's very relatable, because a lot of us are like that. And 2, it was timed perfectly because it's so cool and so awesome to see this grown-up acting like a child, but in a good way. It wasn't just like this dumb child way. It was like, yo, we all do that. We all do that. So that was good. That timing worked really, really well. And then it sort of got forced again. So I think one of my biggest issues with She-Hulk so far is it's the forced humor, the comedic timing that isn't landing right now. I get it. This is supposed to be like a sitcom, but it doesn't come off like a sitcom. It really doesn't, in my opinion. It doesn't really make me feel like I'm watching a sitcom. The storyline for this episode with the whole Titania She-Hulk stuff, okay? I mean, I feel like the best thing that they got out of this episode was when they brought up the guy that she slept with and how he was explained that he wouldn't go with Jen, but he would go with She-Hulk. That to me was good, and that's good for Jen as a character to understand that people want She-Hulk and not her, and how she's going to wrestle with that. That to me was the most interesting part of this episode. I was like, I want more of that. I want to know more about how she's feeling about that, how she's dealing with that situation, rather than this whole Titania using She-Hulk lawsuit gimmick crap. And it's just making a mockery out of the show. And I'm kind of like, it's dumb. It's absolutely dumb. Like, you make a superhero division for lawyers, right? How about we deal with superheroes who get into a fight with other superpower beings and cause destruction in the city. And now someone has to pay for that destruction. And now we're getting them representing the superheroes, and Jen doing her job as being the front person for the superheroes, and dealing with that in court. That is interesting, but they aren't going down that route. They're making a mockery out of it. Personally, for me, it just feels like, what is the point of this superhero division? Like, what is the point of it? Like, we're dealing with people suing people for using magic. We're seeing people get sued for trademark for this name She-Hulk, and she's there with like all perfumes and that, and it's dumb. It is actually dumb, and it's stupid. It is really, really stupid. I feel like there is something there that they could do that would be very clever with the whole superhero lawyer firm being created. Like, that is interesting, but they're not using it at its full potential. And I feel like that is a big, big misstep for me. And it's the same with Jen. This whole idea of people want to sleep with She-Hulk and be with She-Hulk rather than with Jen. Like, her trying to deal with that, with the two identities. How does she cope with that? Interesting. But they're not doing that. They are just shying away from the stuff that would work. And then you throw in the comedic timing that doesn't work. And it's just falling flat. Also, the CGI is just, it's so bad. I mean, I don't get how Hulk looks so good and now she just looks absolutely awful. Like, looks really bad. It's so distracting when I'm watching, and I'm almost like, just turning to Jen, because I'd rather just watch Jen do it rather than She-Hulk, because it's so distracting with that CGI. It's just horrible. It's absolutely horrible. But overall, we got the Daredevil big preview with the helmet, the yellow helmet. I'm interested in how they're going to do Daredevil. I really am. I'm almost finished Daredevil, actually. I should have Daredevil completely finished and a video out on Daredevil next week. Hopefully before episode 6 drops of She-Hulk, so that way I can see the difference between the Daredevil from that show and the Daredevil here, because I still think they're going to be two different characters. I don't know. But we got that tease, so that's coming. There's no post-credit in this one, so yeah. But overall, look, I wouldn't say I hate it, but I wouldn't say I love it either, this episode. It's kind of just like, meh episode. Like, I don't know. It's a weird one. Like, there was things where I kind of reignited my hope for this show. Little things like, okay, they got it here, they got it here, they got it here. Moments. There are moments where I'm like, yes, you're getting the laugh out of me. Yes, I'm on board with that. But then they shy away from it again. And I'm kind of like, can we just get back to that? But that's just me. Let me know in the comments below, what did you guys think of this episode? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Smash it down below. Smash that like button. Click subscribe. And I'll see you guys next video. Until then, stay safe. Take care. Peace out.